Hi, it's Jen with Astrology. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the themes of the week for October 22nd through the 28th. So a little calmer of a week, but we end up with a pretty big partial lunar eclipse at the end. So let's get to it. So first, on the 22nd, we have a few things going on. That's today. So we have Venus in Virgo, and that is trine to Pluto in Capricorn. So it's really, looking into that gut instinct. What is it urging you to move forward with? What is it urging you to push to get what you want? So we have this Pluto feel with that, relationships becoming intensified. So this is about relationships because it's Venus. Venus is in Virgo right now. Pluto's in Capricorn, so very earthy. So, that intensity that's going to be happening, they're very grounded, very earthy. So you're really getting to know all you can about that significant other of yours, or maybe somebody new that you've been seeing, or just really getting down to the nitty-gritty, asking a lot of questions, kind of almost probing, just like, okay, and so a lot of good conversation, talking, trying to really get to know each other. So you'll care more deeply for those that you love. You might feel a little bit more intense. Sex might be a little more passionate, a little more intense. If you're single, you could meet somebody that is that person that's meant to be. It's really, because that Pluto, that's that long-term transition. Venus is, all about love and all that. So if you do meet somebody with this nice aspect going on, it could be a transformation into your future. So if you meet somebody, this could be who's going to be with you, for a long time. As with any Pluto aspect, you do need to watch out with becoming almost, there's that threat of that obsession or being over dominant, because there's that control, that struggle for control, and you just want to, make it equal, like use that Venus to make things more balanced and equal instead of being more dominating. Other Venetian themes may pop up right now. If it's not relationship, it really depends on where it is in your chart. But if it's in your second house or in your 10th house, it could have themes to do with money. So maybe you want to start looking into your investments, making moves, maybe selling things that you have, maybe going through the stuff that you have, maybe downsizing a little bit. We have this Venus that's in Virgo, so it's about cutting out the excess, cutting down the fat, kind of beautifying with minimalization. So maybe have a tag sale or something like that to just kind of get rid of some stuff, make some money in the process, all kind of happy. Even with appearances, that's another kind of Venusian theme. How can you transform your appearance? So maybe if you have normally like long hair, you cut it short. If you normally have dark hair, dye it bleach blonde. Maybe you're thinking about getting some kind of plastic surgery. These are permanent changes. Permanent, like even tattoos. So this something that's gonna kind of transform your look. Or it could be even like a fur permanent. So piercings, tattoos, stuff that that don't ever go away. So next, still on the 22nd, we have Mercury moving into Scorpio. So this is the first moving into Scorpio. So kind of really, bringing up those Scorpion themes. We're going to have a lot going on with Pluto and Scorpio. So a lot of that kind of, a lot of that feeling going on. So, that continues through this whole week, and it just kind of just kicks it off. So with this, we see that curiosity again to find out everything about somebody or even something. So maybe we do a lot of digging. Maybe there's something that we've been, wondering about. Uncovering, exposing things, people, having deep discussions. This is Mercury. You're really, getting down. Asking those hard questions, expecting those hard answers, having those really serious conversations, those penetrating psychological discussions, to just kind of get to know someone on a deeper, like a different kind of level. Just, not superficial, you're going down in deep. Then, again on this 22nd, we have Mercury moving into a trine with Saturn. So, all this digging and probing, Saturn is in Pisces right now, so we have realizations, epiphanies, Mercury in this trine, and finally, after all this digging, things are going to start coming out. So, if you've really been, even if you look on a mundane level, maybe there's been, inquests into these certain people, or looking into things, and now things are going to start coming out into the open. Things are going to start getting exposed. We have that epiphany, that realization of what Saturn also is about, the work that we put in. So this is going to keep us laser focused, even though it is in Pisces. So we do kind of think maybe a little bit outside the box. So it's not quite as that by the book Saturn the way it is. It's a little more of a Piscean feel, so it's a kind of like I said, like a little more outside the box than a normal. So we keep our focus, but it's a little bit of a different kind. We have that maturity to see through and get over those obstacles. Saturn is about the more you work hard, the more that you're going to achieve. So use that maturity that we've learned, things that we've learned from all this digging, all this kind of like, finding out realizations of things, to use this to get over those obstacles. There's always going to be something in the way. Nothing is ever just like opened up, like, so there's always going to be something. But now we can maturely and skillfully get through and, just kind of find our way. So next we move to the 23rd. So, happy birthday, Scorpio. We have the sun moving into Scorpio. So happy birthday to all you Scorpios out there. So unless my little grandbaby comes today, which it doesn't look like it, so she's going to be a Scorpio. So, I'm going to say a big happy birthday, because Scorpio is going to have all new meaning to me. It's a very different kind of watery sign. It's, it's different than Pisces, different than Cancer. They are emotional. They have that deep emotions, but they don't necessarily show them on the outside. You think of that, that Scorpion's got that hard exterior, but you hurt them, they are vengeful, so, you kind of want to stay on their good side. They're extremely passionate about whatever their loves, their desires. They really get, that it's that Pluto, it's that, Scorpio getting really down deep. So they feel very deeply. They are considered to be hard. A lot of people look at them like they're hard, like they're, just kind of emotionless. But again, that is just kind of that hard shell they have on top of them. Like that of a Leo, they have that draw, that's that undeniable draw, but it's a little more of an enchanting, where Leo is like, kind of that sun, and he's like the, people want to follow them almost, but with Scorpio, it's more of like you're enchanted by them, and it's like you're drawn to them, because it's like, whoa, what is it about this person? I just don't get it. So put this with all these other platonic, scorpionic themes. You're going to feel like, if you're not a Scorpio, you may feel this compulsion. You may, really want to get to know people on a different level, like a deeper level. It's kind of going to be like an unconscious desire. You're just going to feel a little differently. The seasons are changing now. We're kind of fixed into the fall season, so we're kind of getting a little more, things are slowing down a little bit. The stars this week aren't quite so intense, so it's just kind of like figuring things out. So really kind of, you're taking that time, instead of like that action going, you're kind of sitting back and maybe, really getting deep into a book, getting deep into some kind of new subject that you're looking at. It's just that really, looking into stuff, learning all you can about it, that Scorpio feel. So next we have the sun in a trine to Saturn in Pisces. So it's just following right behind Mercury. So this again is beneficial to achieving what you want. So, what have you been working on the last couple weeks during when we have the new moon, the solar eclipse? Or what have you been working on, since, the new moon back in Taurus, back in May? So, what have you been working on? Saturn encourages us to really put in that work. And yes, of course, there's obstacles. Saturn, that blockages, that ends, the exterior, that skin. But if you stay focused, you stay grounded and diligent, you can really push through. So these are pushes that we need that really kind of started again back in that solar eclipse, or when we go way back to May 19th with that new moon that was in Taurus. So think about kind of what you've been working on then. Also look at where it is in your chart. So if your chart looks like this, you have a Aries rising, say, it's going to be so we have the moon up here, and it's going to just, where is it going to fall in your chart? If it's going to be in your 8th house, like up here, it's all going on up there. It's going to be that kind of those taboos, maybe taxes, those things that you don't really like to talk about, inheritances maybe, if it's falling into your 10th house, it could have to do with career, 12th house, maybe you've been working on kind of kicking any kind of substance, drinking, drugs, something like that, something that's been kind of controlling you. 2nd house, again, money-wise, and so on and so forth. So, that's kind of the thoughts that we have going on for this week, kind of like getting over and kind of finishing up everything that we've been working on. Kind of like, everything's going to come to a climax at the end of this week, don't forget, because we have that full moon that is in Taurus. So during the day of the full moon on the 28th, we have Mars opposing Jupiter. So, and that is in Taurus also. So a lot of stuff going on with this new moon, and this full moon. And if you haven't seen the video I put out on that, I'll definitely put a link in the description so you can check that out. We kind of really go in depth with just the everything that's going on that full moon day, on that partial lunar eclipse that's going to be going on. So then we have Mercury opposing Jupiter. And then we have this Mercury Mars conjunction up here. As Mercury's getting closer to Mars, applying to that conjunction, it's going to be opposing Jupiter. So, the conjunction doesn't peak until the 29th, which is on Sunday, but we're moving towards it. So it's all that resonance before and the resonance after. Things don't only happen on the day that it's at its fullest. That's just when it kind of becomes the most intense. Other than that, it's just, we're working towards it, and it's kind of, you feel it happening, you kind of feel it starting. So what are we feeling starting? Again, depending on what this is, if it's aspecting any of your planets, if it's aspecting your sun, moon, or any of your angles also. So when we think about Mercury opposing Jupiter is about expansion. It's about, over the top, making things bigger. And, so we want to kind of not overdo it. We want to not overdo things, overthink, don't overanalyze. So just kind of, it's an opposition, so, you're kind of wrestling with that. So you could have that tendency to overthink things, to overanalyze things. That as we're building to this crescendo, this Jupiter enlarging our drives, our visions, getting to this culmination. So don't be overzealous also. Don't be overconfident. Don't try to make things bigger than what they really are. So maybe, things may seem one way and you blow it out of proportion. Real easy to do that, especially when we have Mars figuring into that aspect as well. we have a tendency to maybe blow up and make things a bigger problem than they might actually be. We have Mercury there, so there could be that argument. You want to watch for, arguing, as you're trying to push forward, trying to, get your point across, could come across a little bit brash. So you want to watch that, especially, if you are a Scorpio, or if you are any of the fixed signs of Leo, Aquarius, or Taurus. Of course, those are the ones where you're gonna kind of feel it the most. So you kind of want to watch that temper, kind of, think before you speak, which always is great. Take that time, before you hit send, and just think about, okay, do I really want to make this? Is this really as big as I'm thinking that it is? So again, going back, we want to really, though, get ready as we get to the culmination, as we get to this full moon. We want to get ready to reap those benefits of all that we've worked for. And then what you do is you pass that knowledge down, so you're going to, what did you get from all that you've worked hard for? Did you get maybe a raise? Did you get a new relationship? Did you get a better relationship? And how is this going to benefit you? And then how can you use this knowledge to then kind of pass it along? So maybe if it was a promotion, maybe you have somebody under you, and now you're going to teach them so that they can then grow with the company. If it is in your relationship, maybe you were having some issues in the relationship, and now things are going better because you've worked through, because you really, you went through that darkness, you went through, and now you're seeing the light, and things are going better, and you're seeing like that, nice culmination. So what? Appreciate that significant other a little bit more, and they'll appreciate you a little bit more, spending a little more time together, maybe going on date nights. So, how are you benefiting from that you worked for? Also, if it was, again, it's about going through the dark to see the light. So if it is some kind of habit you're trying to kick, if you had some kind of, substance abuse going on that you've been wrestling with, and you've been really trying to get away from it, this is like, that maybe that epiphany, like, finally, I think I'm good. I think I've kicked it and I feel good. You could be sleeping better. You could, like, those uncontrollable, like, yearnings could be gone, or just going away a lot, and you could be, a lot more comfortable in your own skin. Finally getting rid of those bad habits, pushing those toxic things, people out of your life. And now how are you going to benefit from that? You're going to be a better, more confident person. You're going to be more alert, more alive, more outgoing, because you're not hiding something that, so, you really want to, get all you can from this. This is a big, big full moon. It's in Taurus, so we really want to dig our heels in. We want to get down and dirty in that dirt, and we just want to, like, okay, that's it. And now that we work so hard, we want to just take the time and just relax. So this is kind of that, the crescendo, and now we're going down. Now we just want to sit back, do some relaxing. Like we have Picky in the background here, and that's what he's doing. It's actually his and the little black one, Bean's, birthday today. They are a year old, so happy birthday to them as well. They are the last day. So he's all tuckered out from having a big birthday day. So happy birthday to Picky and Bean and all you Scorpios out there. I hope you guys all have a great week. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and get notified to upcoming videos. So make sure you hit that little bell. Take the time again, take it for yourself, give yourself a break, and, just let that full moon just totally just feel it. Just get out there. Nice Saturday coming up next week. We'll have a nice, hopefully not rainy weekend. I know here it's rained every weekend, and so next week looks good, so fingers crossed. Maybe that's the culmination. Maybe that's what we're getting rid of here in New England, and we're getting rid of all this stinking rain, and then next weekend after this, nice full moon, we'll have nice weather. So that's about it. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.